road cars came into production because Enzo Ferrari needed to homologate his V6 engine for Formula 2 racing cars. The FIA had new rules for the 1967 season, and F2 engines could have no more than 6 cylinders and must be derived from a production engine. Ferrari had to build 500 examples within 1 year to conform to the new regulations. However, in the 1960s, Ferrari simply did not have the facilities to produce 500 additional cars within that time frame. So on March 1st, 1965, Ferrari signed an agreement with Fiat, and so both the Ferrari Dino and the Fiat Dino were born. The concept for the V6 racing engine has a peculiar 65-degree angle between the cylinder bank and was first designed in 1956 by Vittorio Jano and Alfredino Ferrari. The conversion of the racing engine to road use was entrusted to Aurelio Lampretti, an already well-known Ferrari engineer. The resulting Ferrari-designed and Fiat-built engines were then installed in 2 very different vehicles, the Ferrari Dino and the Fiat Dino. The Fiat Dinos were built from 1966 until 1973, and unlike their Ferrari counterparts, the Fiat Dinos are front-engine, rear-wheel drive cars. Now, both the Ferrari and the Fiat come in a 2-liter aluminum block and a 2.4-liter cast iron block. This car right here is a 1972 2.4-liter. And what's special about this is the Fiat Dinos, there were thousands of them made, but the 2.4-liter Fiat Dino 2400 Spyders, there was only 420 of them made, making them the most collectible and the most desirable of all the Fiat Dinos. This car right here is fully restored, and it was an excellent restoration. It's won multiple prizes. We have all the trophies, and it also comes with a giant binder of the invoices. So all of this is various work that's been done on the car and the history of it. So it's an extremely well documented car. It also has things like the certificate of origin. It has the books. It has little fold out posters of Fiat Dino Spyders. It has original tools. It is just one of the best examples of a Fiat Dino that I've ever come across. The main difference between the 2-liter and the 2.4-liter cars is that the 2.4-liter, not only does it have the bigger engine, which means more horsepower and more torque, but it also has an independent rear suspension and bigger brakes. So when you're driving this car, it was an instant hit with buyers because it has a little more get up and go, plus it brakes well, which I've driven lots of older cars, and a lot of times they have massive amounts of power and not enough brakes, and that's a bad combination. So it's always nice to find a car that you can really get it going, and then when you need to stop, it really will. Like any Italian car, the Fiat Dino has its quirks, and one of them being the massive electronic ignition system. So it was one of the first electronic ignitions in a production car, and the ignition box has a switch, normale or normal, and then emergencia or emergency. So back in the day when you were driving around, undoubtedly one day the ignition would blow up on you. It wasn't an if, it was a when. And when that happens, you stop, get out of the car, and flip the switch to emergencia and limp your way over to the closest mechanic shop. And all the being in emergencia mode would do, it would make the tachometer not work, but it would allow you to get to the shop. And luckily, if you were in Italy, Fiat shops were not too hard to find. There's lots of quirks in Italian cars, and one of the big ones always is how they arrange the buttons on the interior. So when you're driving this car, I mean, it's wonderful to drive and shift smooth. I mean, you just click through the gears. It was a great experience, but it is funny how they arrange the buttons. So if you want to adjust the air, the heater, it's all right here next to the, kind of behind the parking brake, and really hard to get at. So you're driving, you're shifting, it's just not easy. Also, another funny thing they did that I love, and I don't know why they did it, but I find it really adorable. The horn has a little flip, a little switch. And when you switch it up, it makes that sound. And when you switch it down, it makes that sound. So I guess one's more like, beep, beep, get out of my way, and one's more like, move. But these are just a couple of the little quirks about this car that make it so unique. And, you know, in typical Italian built, or the body was designed by Pininfarina, just like the Ferrari Dino. The coupes of these cars were actually designed by Bertone. So they have the two main different body designs, and personally, I think the Spyder is just adorable. It's a cute car, and it's a well-driving car, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. If you guys want to know more about the differences between the Ferrari Dino and the Fiat Dino, we've done 4 videos now on the Ferrari Dino, and in the last one we did, I went into a little bit of more of an explanation on the difference between these two cars and how Ferrari needed to mass produce the Dino engine, so they enlisted the help of Fiat. So if you want to know more on that history, go ahead and click the link below and watch the other videos I've done on Dinos. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, hit like, and stay tuned because I will have a lot more videos coming out real soon.